Yes, they were highly
Okay,
encouraged.
is this
Oh.
showing up?
Couldn't make it any easier for
Okay,
them.
that needs to go here. You guys don't need to see that. That goes full size. Okay, we're live and in person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the agenda back up for you. There it is.
Do we have Karen on call tonight?
No, I haven't heard from her.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
All right, call the meeting to order. How's everyone?
Good.
Good.
Above ground, it's a good day.
Roll call. We're only missing Karen at this point.
And Nick.
Nick is no longer with us. Nick had other obligations to take care of. Okay. Agenda approval. Please look over the agenda for tonight. See if there's anything that might need addressed or changed. And if you don't see anything, I'd like to entertain a motion.
I would move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Aye. Great. And then take a minute to look over the minutes for November. See if there's anything that may need to be updated or addressed.
Does it say May still? That should be fixed.
Yeah.
So under minutes approval in the minutes that you're looking at, it says May
Yeah.
2024. It should say, what is
October.
that? October?
Mm-hmm.
Or,
October.
What?
wait,
Oh,
was it?
I thought it was
that's-
September.
That's because we didn't have a quorum. Got it.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's correct.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I need a motion to approve both A
No.
and B, or no?
No, back to your agenda part. That's last month.
Oh yes, I mean sorry, motion.
There you go.
Sorry.
You got it. It's okay. You got it.
Yep. Would anybody want to make a motion?
Sure. Yeah, I will.
One second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, it's unanimous actually, so just go. All right, public comments. Karen, you're sitting here at the table. Do you have any comments for us tonight?
Nope, not tonight.
Okay.
There was supposed to be Ann, oh, I'm sure her last name is flew out of my head, but somebody was supposed to be here, but I don't see them. She emailed me a few hours ago and said, "Are we still on for tonight?" I said, "Yes." So,
Amy.
Oh.
Amy McIntosh? No.
and
Matheson?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, it's okay. She's not here.
I'm not a guest.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. Then we'll move along to old business. Signal box art wraps.
Okay, lots of updates from me here.
Love that.
So Nick got them out to all the schools. I sent them all an email a couple of weeks ago saying the deadline is
December 13th.
next Friday the 13th, this Friday in 2
Mhm.
days. What's the next word? The next thing that happens is chaos because clearly they haven't done anything yet. So the high school art teacher called me and he said, "I've got 150 art students and I can't get one to be interested in this project." And he said that he was trying to handpick a few kids that would be appropriate and good, talented artists to do it, and they weren't interested. They were too busy doing AP classes and things. And then he told me that it was hard for him with such short notice of 3 months to do the project because he needs a year in advance notice to change his schedule.
Well,
in
then
his
we will
class.
move the high school to anyone that can't participate, because we've got an A section and a B section.
But wait, there's more. So I said, "Okay, Rich, well, I mean, you can only do what you can do. I'm sympathetic to that. I'm disappointed, but I mean, it is what it is. I can't force people to do art and stick it on the thing." So that's the high school. The middle school seems to be on track. School number 1, text message central. Can we have more time? Because we're getting there, but we need more time. School number 2, Island City Elementary, email. We need more time. Can we have more time? School number 3, phone call, activities person. Greenwood. We need more time. So what's in front of you really is to either move that deadline or Well, we have to move the deadline to January, I would say. The last part of the puzzle. I talked to the assistant superintendent, Scott Carpenter, yesterday in a meeting, and I expressed my frustration with his staff. And I was trying to be good, but I was just like, really? 3 months? And he was like, I understand your frustration. So he was disappointed because in the beginning, guys, about 2 years ago, they were at this table saying that we're all in. The schools are all in. You were here. I was here. And some of you were here. So I think that they were pretty disappointed in their staff. And we can talk more about that offline. But long story short, tonight, he said that the district would pick up the high school's box. And we'll make sure that that happens because he still wants to be good representation across the district. And he doesn't want to let one go. Because my concern was, yes, we can go to AB, but what we have in the budget is this amount. And if we don't do this amount, and we do that as a one-off potentially in 6 months, then it could be expensive because they have to come back out and they have to do all the things that instead of being here one time, going blah, 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 and we're done. That was my concern. So he understood that and said that they were going to take care of that. Just give them, I said, should we give them to the end of the school year? What should we do? Because they clearly forgot or didn't do it or whatever. And he said, no, don't do that because it will never get done. Give them till the end of January is what he requested. So that's what I have.
Do we have a deadline as far as people who are actually doing the physical wrapping of the signal boxes?
Not really. We have a process
We're
that we
shooting
have to
for
go
June.
through first.
Okay.
To get that done by June, it
We
won't
have to-
happen. It will happen now in July potentially.
Okay.
It's like a 1 month slide.
Totally. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't now
No,
screwing other people up because
good question.
yeah,
It's a
because
process.
I wasn't
thing.
here when
Yeah.
when the first thing was
Yeah.
initialized.
It has to go through ODOT and City Council and the Art
Yeah.
Commission. So there's these hurdles, and
Yeah.
those people meet, once a month. So
Mhm.
that's why it's.
Totally fair.
I hope
Yeah.
we will be somewhat gentle with the staff because they have been running ragged this year, it seems. So the
Well,
mere fact that they're even doing it is exciting. And my 2 kids that are in school, one of them is like, I got to draw a cougar and it's going to go downtown and look grand, Mom. So, like, the kids are excited and they're doing it. And my oldest one, or my 11-year-old, was saying how he got to draw the future. So he drew Alaska with hot sun and somebody sitting on the beach under an umbrella.
I love it.
But wasn't it supposed to be for local LeGrand? And he goes, no, they just said the future. And I was like, okay. So
Embracing the future. Yeah.
I just thought it was cute. Anyway,
I love it.
I don't know, it was kind of funny. So
But to give you a little bit of backstory on this, there is
Hey,
a
That's the
and a
one we're
B
missing.
to the signal box wrap. The A part was the schools that are all on here, but then the B part was EOU, homeschoolers. There's a signal box down by Safeway that we could assign to someone, and that was the B. See how this first part goes, then we do the next part. ODOT, the lady with ODOT was, okay, that sounds perfect, break it into 2 parts. The lady with the Oregon Sign Company, I cannot remember these people's names, I'm so sorry.
I'm done with you.
it's Vanessa.
Vanessa, said that doing the box wraps in the summertime was the most opportune for the adhesion. And the part A is the price that we've got set up for these 5 schools.
Okay.
And that's where it stands. And then I based the timeline on, okay, we get this done by the first of the year, then we can catch up with ODOT because winter time's like their busy time. Get with them because ODOT has to be part of the approval process.
Yeah.
And then we, in conjunction with ODOT, take it to the city council, what we've selected and what ODOT has said, yeah, sure, looks good. And then city council will go yay or nay because it's not going to cost them anything really. And then we give it back to Oregon Sign Company and say, here you go. And that gives them 4 or 5 months to print these
Right.
things out.
So what are we looking for tonight? We're just looking for a decision on whether or not we should extend or what?
I just need direction on. Do we need to?
I mean, if we need to give them another month, I say give them another month.
I'm all for
I think it's
that.
reasonable.
Yeah.
So they aren't gonna get back until January what?
Third, it's real fast.
Okay.
Is it
We're only
Friday the
giving
third
them
then?
3 weeks.
I can't,
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah,
can't remember
because
when
then
they-
I'd be
Somewhere
on
in
for
there.
Christmas break.
Mhm.
So are we only giving them till January 13th?
Well, he
or-
recommended the end of the January.
Okay, so
I
we're
would
giving them
recommend
till
that.
January
Yeah.
30th. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was like
Yeah.
more than this because that's literally only giving them a
Like
month
week
or a
two,
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So-
yeah, like Corey was saying over there.
But
you know,
even with that, that's 3
That's
weeks.
3 weeks because they do lose that first week.
I think that's
Technically.
decent though. I mean,
Okay,
because it
probably
sounds like
six.
they're already working on it in schools.
Mhm.
At least at
Oh, yeah.
Central
So
they
the
are.
elementaries
So.
are in process, but they're like, we can't.
It does
You
give
get
them
done
4
by-
full weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
come
think-
back the 6th.
And that would actually work out really good because then in that after the 31st, we could get a hold of ODOT. Say, here's our next meeting. Here's where we're at with. We are at the stage where we need you in on this,
I think that's great.
and that
Yeah.
wouldn't put us too far off track for the summer.
Is that something we have to vote on, or can we just have like a unanimous?
Just consensus.
Consensus.
Whee!
Sounds
We
like
did it.
have that.
Okay.
So
And-
I'll email that back out
Okay, I
with
was
the
gonna-
different
yeah,
deadlines,
so-
et cetera, yeah.
Giving them well, and now
And a
that
huge thank
they're, I mean, because end of this term is always going to be a lot for teachers, but
Yeah.
now that they're a little freaked out about it, giving them till January 31st, it'll hopefully.
Well, and we
put
were
them on
trying
the
to
calendar
avoid
for
the end of
first
the
week
year
of-
stuff too, having them try to submit it, in May.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I think-
trying to corral the monkeys in May. No.
And I think it'll work just fine because the extra time, like it's happening during library time at Central, right? So they go to library
Sure.
once or twice a week, so that's the only time they have to work on it. So I think that's a
Mhm.
perfect extension, really.
Yeah, I think that would
So-
work out really good, and it won't put us too far off track to start accomplishing things in this
So
summer.
for like Central, that gives them because they go to the library time twice a week.
Depending on the class, once or
Yeah,
twice.
so-
Yeah, it gives them plenty of time to finish.
Okay.
And it sounds like kids were already finishing, so they might just be waiting on sick. You know, everybody's sick with norovirus, so they're just probably trying to
and
get
it's
everybody
that
involved.
time of year, the petri dishes are active, as my husband puts it.
So at this point in time, do we need to discuss anything else about the signal box wraps then? Just that extension? Great.
Yep.
Let's
And,
move
and
on.
Ann's here, so
Yes,
do you want
can
to
we-
go backwards?
I'm okay with that. Do we need to do anything special for
No.
that to happen?
No?
Okay,
You just
so
missed your opening, that's all, right? About
Oh,
5
sorry.
minutes.
we're gonna
So we'll
move
just jump you in.
back to public comment for a brief moment.
So you want to introduce yourself and what you're doing,
Sure.
why you're here and all that?
Okay, hopefully you can tell me if
Sure,
I'm
sure, I can.
Hi, I'm Ann McNamee, and I'm a mom and a human in this city and town. And I've been sort of involved in this group for safe routes to school, and it's wonderful and encouraging kids to walk, ride, or roll to school. And there's like a national
Mhm.
thing and a statewide thing, and so the local group is growing, I would say.
Yeah.
We've got more momentum and are thinking about putting some activities together. One of them I think, I can't remember who brought it up, but I got excited about it because it was art-based and a way to visually connect with people in the community about, where are safe places to walk and ride to school. So the city has been investing in kind of routes, and there's been some really cool work done to identify which routes are the appropriate and safe and what needs to be kind of improved. And so I'm coming to you guys to think and kind of not necessarily brainstorm, but potentially see if there would be some way we could partner to do something visual on this end. And one of the things that I saw when I did a little bit of research, just a little bit, but it was really fun, was just painting potentially the streets or painting pathways on the sidewalks. So it's a little bit like graffiti tagging, but kind of condoned and could be beautiful and make an impact in the city. And so this is my kind of a little bit of a chaotic idea, and I think that there's a group of us that are willing to work it out. I would love to do my part to help facilitate it, and I just don't know what to do from here. But I just imagine there's ways to connect with different organizations. There's the Soul Kids group, who is a group of runners, and they use the streets all the time. And I just was like, what if they spent one of their days painting a street that they are always, using, like maybe on, like I've seen them up on C and 4th or 2nd, I think. And then there's spots they have one at Greenwood too. And so there are some spots that I'm sure like we could probably like talk to the Will, who kind of did the survey, and say what would be a good intersection to do this in, or what. And if you guys have other ideas.
Well, it kind of plays into the signal box wrap.
Well, and as I was like sitting here, I was like, wow, this is really. What if we had a safe routes to school thing because I didn't really know what you guys were talking about, but it sort of became clear.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this would be. Really
Well, and the theme of all of this was it started with the mural that we put up at the library, and it's honoring the past, celebrating the present, and embracing the future.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we sent out to the schools. And so this hey, sidewalk murals, I love it.
Yeah.
So, and let me tell you that one of the ideas during that meeting was not painting the streets like you think of
Right.
painting the streets, but like painting the little paw prints, or
Mhm.
in Greenwood it would be giant
Yeah.
prints, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, they're
Central-
mascots.
right?
Yeah.
The mascot prints,
Oh.
sort of leading them like from the neighborhoods, like along the side of the street, not like because I think when you hear paint the street, you're like,
I know. When I said it, I was like, that's
Yeah.
too much for LeGrand,
Yeah.
maybe.
No. Yeah.
but yeah,
I
something
love the
that
I
was-
prefer
mascot
the painted
footprints.
streets.
I know. I've seen
also-
it in Portland.
Didn't they have something like that
Or the
around
sidewalks,
the
yeah.
middle school at some point? They had like cougar prints.
They did it at Central. I mean, they do it Central for kids to line up on, but I don't know about the middle school.
It
Yeah.
would just be sort of a variety of through the neighborhoods, sort of like these are the recognized routes.
Well, and the bus people could give you, what's the route for this school.
Yeah.
No, we have all that information already.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
We've already done all that work. So
Oh, well, yeah.
turn them loose with prints.
So is this something that has been done with the surveying? Has it been done with, what is the commission? Safety, streets and
parking,
Parking.
parking
safety.
and traffic safety? Have they been involved in this?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But not with painting anything. They've been
Mhm.
involved with the process. They've
Yeah,
been-
and the
Okay.
safe routes to school, they kind of
Yeah, I
help out
imagine
with that.
that. Yeah.
So just so
Okay.
you guys have perspective, the Safe Routes to School program has two arms. One's an infrastructure arm that's funding for sidewalks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
On the
Love
ground.
that.
Then there's an education outreach arm, which is educating kids and encouraging them to walk, bike, and roll to school. So you have these two arms that the city has active. Parks and Rec Department has this group that Ann's part of, and also Public Works has the infrastructure side.
Mhm.
Right, when Public Works applies for grants, ODOT wants to see that you have the education side also,
Mm-hmm.
and they give you bonus points. So what's cool is our department gives Public Works bonus points to build stuff that people need, and we have weaknesses with lapses in sidewalks or bike ramps or
Mhm.
wheelchair ramps or whatever, right? So they go hand in hand. So this group has been actively engaged in how do we solve some of those infrastructure problems. I think that's the reason most people got involved. Then once I explained it like that, they're like, oh, we should have like monthly events then to encourage kids to go, and we can have hot cocoa at the school. We can have a little kiosk, like a little contest, little giveaways,
Mhm.
whatever, right? So they've been doing some of that. And then this idea came out, and I was like, you should come to the art commission and talk about that, because it just made sense, like you said, to tie it in.
Yeah.
So that's kind
Well,
of the full
and something
circle.
that we could add to the strategic
I
plan.
know. I was just thinking
Yeah,
that
we really
we
easy
should.
to do.
Because after the sidewalk, the signal box routes are done, then we're open to what are we going to do the next 5 years? What are we going to do? Are
Right.
we still on track on our 20? And
Mhm.
It all loops together, really. But
Yep.
um,
I think that's awesome.
but I think,
I love the idea of turning them loose with paw prints.
and if you guys
Right.
are the official appointed group for city council, so when
Yeah.
it comes down to it, and council is hearing a presentation, it's not going to come from me, right? It'll come from the art commission first. It'll come from them through the arts commission, which is council, because they're not a recognized
Mhm.
commission. So
But if there's somebody that is not just us, but we could, whoever's presenting can say, well, we've got the support of
oh,
A,
for
B,
sure.
C,
Yeah,
D.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have Anne's contact information? And you're the point of contact for the group for this
Sure,
particular project?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would also ask, is there something you think I could do? I mean, I'm interested in getting some direction too on how I can help. move this along, but maybe it's just coming, I mean, I could be more involved here or some way to do it with the safe routes too. So.
I think right now, based on the way that the Advisory Council Arts Commission is set up and designed, we would need to maybe talk about it between now and the next meeting just a little bit to gather some ideas and brainstorm how we could best help you and continue the conversation maybe after next month.
Yeah, and
So is there a timeline that you folks are looking at?
I mean, do you think there is? I feel like we've been brainstorming on things that we can act on.
Yeah, I think so just let me back up and add to that. I think the process is something like this group needs to come up with a plan and present it to this group, and then this group can say, what about this and this and this and this? So the action item for you is really to go back to the Safe Routes group and say, okay, we need to kind of get the maps out and figure out if we're going to prioritize road A, B, or C, whatever, right? And then sort of illustrate that for the Art Commission. Then the Art Commission can say, okay, we have these questions, and then you kind of have that conversation. And
fine
then-
tune it.
Yep, and then it
Yeah.
can go to council either during the budget process if it's something that needs funded, or if it's a volunteer thing, then council and public works and parking traffic safety has to get involved. But really, that's the process.
Is there a way that we could partner this into like two projects of figure out where sidewalks need to be put in and make this a like on top of that? Is that something that we could facilitate, or would we
Kind
be
of.
solely based on like the actual art aspect of once it's already approved?
I would think the art aspect.
It's all intertwined.
Okay.
But you kind of have to take the infrastructure out of it.
Okay,
So that's a whole separate conversation.
totally fair.
So it's mostly existing safe routes that we're going to promote.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on
That
the
was-
side, they're also working on the missing sidewalk tracks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm on parking and traffic safety, and it's a nightmare.
Okay, I'm so
Sidewalks.
grateful for all the work you guys have been putting in though. Holy cow.
But the parking and traffic safety, I don't know if you were at that meeting, but this group provided a sort of cheat sheet of here are all the things that need to be fixed first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Greenwood and at Central, and then the city actually few meetings ago, city council decided to allocate $250,000 to those projects. So
Nice.
Yeah.
it was like
That was really cool.
exciting.
action-packed, like,
It was
love
really
that.
exciting. Yeah.
which was a variety of timing and things, but
Yeah.
also
But it was so
it wouldn't
cool.
have happened without. So
Yeah.
it's good.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I guess
So you
The
all
thing
just
that-
kind of sit and wait.
yeah.
And they go to work and do their thing.
What I would say then is if you just want to bring us a cheat sheet of these are the routes we are going to want to paint when you guys are ready within the next couple of months, that's what I guess we would be asking
You know,
for.
a
So.
rough timeline, you know.
Because if I were
Yes.
if I were in your group, like I'm just sort of trying to be staff.
Mhm.
But like
Yeah.
I would say, wouldn't it be cool to have this in time for August when school starts, right?
Exactly,
Oh,
Yes.
that would be
Summer
ideal.
camp or,
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we're following public meeting rules. Are we supposed to also do a 3-minute time length in this?
No, it's up to the chair. So
Okay.
since you didn't say anything. So-
Okay. I just wanted to make sure while we're here. So is there anything else you need from us, Anne, to get started on that
I
portion?
don't think so.
I do
We're on
have
board.
one public comment on that, because I've been listening to what they've got going. One of the things I was thinking, as well as street or sidewalk, as well as that you might want to think as far as artwork, is signs along the way.
Oh, they're working on that too.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
figured
I
that
was
was
gonna say,
probably
because the art on the signs to show the kids, I thought would be a really good.
Yeah.
Well, when it snows, we won't be able to see it.
I know, so signs would be necessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Temporary snow fix. Greenwood, go this way.
Anne, thank you so much for
Yes,
sharing.
thank you so
are
much.
welcome to stick
No, that's
around, or
lovely.
you are free to go if you would like. But we have a lot coming up, and it might be a lengthy meeting.
Okay, yeah, I think I will say goodbye.
All good.
Okay.
But I do appreciate the time
Yeah.
and sorry to, I
Don't
was
be
thinking
sorry.
I
No,
would come
no.
at
You
6.
made it here. You got your presentation done. Yay!
Okay,
All
Yeah.
good.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
These are good.
Yeah.
personal question, and are you planning to do your class at the library ever again? Because I
Yeah.
missed it. I
Yeah.
want to go to the next one. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, no, I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
okay.
do it forever.
Awesome.
I collected native seeds all fall, and I gave them away at the library, and it was
Ooh.
Very
Yeah,
cute.
it was really
I
fun.
think
I'm
sick
so
or
glad-
something. It was sad.
Yeah, no, I hope to keep that up. Yeah.
Okay.
And thanks.
Yep.
And beyond. Okay, thanks.
Thank
for
you
all
so
guys
much.
do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just gonna do that.
Thanks, Anne. Okay, moving on to strategic plan. So we talked last meeting about some of the themes we were seeing. I put together a sort of outline with some pointers for helping you plan, and I have not been in there today to look at it. So,
Very good.
Stu, can
You want
you?
to pop it up there?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, 1 second. Just give me about 3 minutes.
I will say.
I know the biggie
just
was
going
murals.
into this is that I looked at it. It was very well organized, and I haven't had time to write anything on it.
That's okay.
At
My
least you know
dream.
Google Docs. I
My
gotta
dream
go
was to
learn.
be able to have it finished before I left at the end of this year, so that I didn't leave such a huge burden or task to all of you. That was my original idea, but I feel like you are all quite capable of carrying on. So I will be continuing to do work until my very last day as an arts commissioner, which I believe is December 31st. And I'll just keep doing all the work that I can in the meantime to make sure it's updated. So I had started putting in a resolution that was in there that that kind of formulated what the Arts Advisory Commission was for, and now we're learning that we need to go off of the actual city ordinance.
Code, yeah.
Yeah, so I will be putting that in so that you have something to reference every time you're
Lovely.
coming up with an idea, and that should be done hopefully by the end of this week. But that's why you're seeing that strike through there, is because I wanted to do that. And then the other thing was, I keep seeing LeGrand Arts Advisory Commission versus LeGrand Arts Commission
Yeah,
in paperwork. So what do I need to?
Yeah, we.
Well, I guess whatever's in the ordinance, I'll put as the final.
Yeah.
Smart. 'cause
Yeah.
don't
I
have
thought it was
those.
always just Arts Commission in the.
I can look it up as you guys are talking.
I'll be updating that, and then there are.
Just tell me where to scroll.
To the goals, just go to the goals. I did start putting in goals down below.
And I'm
You can also
actively
open the outline
updating
on
this
the
as we're
left,
going.
Stu, if you wanted
I just
to.
have to find my mouse. Do you guys see it?
No. Oh, there it is. Oh,
Wait. Come on.
It's-
Where we go?
You gotta let it sit, maybe? It's finicky.
Can you see it?
Can you see it on your own screen?
No, I don't have that at all on my screen.
Oh,
Okay, well, anyway.
And that's why I want a
There it
mouse
is.
and a
just,
keyboard.
yeah, there it is, down on the bottom right.
Okay, I see it. Okay, what do you want me to do?
If you open up right there, those 3 lines, the outline, then you can just click on the next one.
Okay.
So the
This one?
no, next one down. There you go. That should be the goals. Yeah. So I'm looking for goals from you folks. Oh, it looks like people already put some things in there, which is great. I started with a few just to give ideas that weren't necessarily what they have to be, but it was just ideas based on what we saw. And I remember the performance venue, of course, because I do performing arts. So I got excited about that, so I put that first. And then murals were talked about quite a bit, and then establishing more dedicated art spaces. But in that, I realized we also need to talk about maintenance, and so I put those in there as goals as well. So,
Was my understanding that Parks and Recs was maintain the maintenance.
well, but I think it's our job to say, hey, you guys haven't maintained
We
the
have
pillars at Bernie Park, so could we go
Yeah.
maintain those, please? So that's our
Yeah,
job,
we
right?
have it. We have the book where we did this is what the city has, and it's supposed to be done. There's logs from doing maintenance, and then actually I think we're coming up on our 5-year to go through it again and add anything, delete anything for the updating.
Okay,
You guys are saying the same thing but different. So
yeah.
the correct thing is that it's the role of the commission to identify and advise staff on things that need to be done, and also
So what she
advocate
said.
what she said, but also what you said, in the fact that then the city should do them.
Yeah.
Which is what, so
Well,
you
that
guys
was my
understand
understanding,
the
that it fell in,
Yeah.
because we fall under Parks and Recs, that Parks and Recs
Right.
does the
So,
maintenance and update, and stuff, but it's up to us to say, yeah, like you said, Bernie Park, the pillars are looking kind of sad, and
yeah.
yeah, need some paint, some sealant.
Well,
chunks are missing. It's more than that.
Yeah, that's quite a
and
bit.
that's something that Parks and Rec just can't do. That's a artwork by
Yeah.
Tom Diamond, and Tom Diamond has to be involved in that.
And I called him a few years ago. I think we had this conversation
Yeah, I
a
think
few
so
years ago. Because I talked to him and he said, you know, yeah, we happy to help, you know, basically. But that's a more involved process. That needs to be okay, Tom, come out, assess it, figure out a price. How are we gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're right. It's
If
not
So-
like
if he
brick
can
and
do it,
mortar.
or if he wants to
Right.
Right.
shut it out to somebody else to do it.
Good point.
So that's
Which he may
why,
very well want to do now.
yeah, and that's why I put maintain currently installed art, because I think it would be good for us to have it as a goal to make sure that we're monitoring that and offering artists an opportunity to.
Yeah, like
To help maintain.
the bureau, the,
And so it's not that we have to maintain it. The goal is not we're maintaining it. The idea behind that goal, which I haven't written objectives for. So the objectives would be like, this is how we're going to help ensure it is maintained.
mhm.
That's kind of the idea. So we would have to call the artists. We would have to write all those
Yeah.
objectives, and it would be maintained. We would know it was maintained if it looked good and it wasn't falling apart. Right? Like that's we create that standard that is measurable.
Yeah, I've had people talk to me about the Sacagawea on the, they're on,
On the buildings.
yeah, a bit behind,
Mural.
In the city lot behind.
yeah, GQ Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Corey
Is
had
that ours? Is it the city's?
I don't know.
Or is it
I don't
belong to
know.
the
That's
owner
what
of
we
the
need to
building?
find out. Is it?
That's-
Because if it has nothing to do with us, then it's,
Yeah.
that doesn't
Right.
pertain.
What that would be is
The
coordinating city council to invite building owners to those meetings.
Mhm.
So we would
Right.
have to reach out to city council and say, would you be willing to invite this building owner to this meeting so we can talk to them? Like that's,
and I don't even think it actually has to be that much permission asking. I think if it were written into the strategic plan that we want to, Stu, could you scroll back up to the goals I put in there? I put encourage building owners to maintain murals.
Mhm.
So that could be our goal, and then our objectives would be this is the money we could dedicate to it,
Mhm.
or this is the support we could dedicate to it. Those are
Right.
the kinds of things that would become
yeah,
the roadmap.
yes.
So
Well, and also, if it's inside the historic district, landmarks would be involved.
right, so that's part of the roadmap. So what we need to do is figure out what the big goals are, the big broad goals tonight. I think if we had the big broad goals finished tonight, then over the next couple of weeks we could start putting in the objectives, the like targetable, measurable things that would help us know. So if we said build an outdoor performance venue, what does that look like? A space large enough for how many people and what kinds of events? That would be an objective. We would know we met that goal if X, Y, and Z were met.
Yeah, the outdoor performance space was on our original 20-year plan.
Right.
And what had been pictured was basically something that's similar to like the Hollywood Bowl, with concrete seats on a sloped hill,
Yeah.
so that, down further people could picnic and sit on blankets and such. The concrete could be for handicapped accessible and such, and people didn't want to sit on the ground. Attached to a community park, another park out there.
So
The location we thought
we're,
of was...
we're not looking at specifics right now. We're just looking at the overall. So moving on from that, that should be one of our main goals. So
Mhm.
build outdoor performance venue should just stay on there. Moving on, encourage
Gotcha.
it. So like, because if we sit here and do all the specifics right now, this is gonna be a 15-hour meeting. So that one, great. Looks like it stays on there.
So
Encouraging.
to your point, Katie, right? So this is the outline, like the
Correct.
big wide view, and then
Exactly.
eventually over time.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
pick
but
We
something.
will, we will specify this as we
Good
go.
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That
So
that was something that was on the survey that we got back, and people seemed to
yeah.
like
It was,
that idea.
Yeah, it was about middle of the road.
But
if
it was
I
if it was already on the 20-year plan and it was already received well by the survey, great, it stays in.
Mm-hmm.
Can we scroll down to the roadmap? So the roadmap is just the steps that it would take to get there. So the one that I keep using is having an online hub where people could enter the events they have going on. If we're artists, not just people. Artists could enter what they have going on, things that they know are happening around town. Ideally, they would just be able to post it and go, almost like an app even. So that was just the example. So the goal was build a robust and inclusive arts community. The objective to show that we're a robust and inclusive arts community is create an online platform by June 2025 where artists can share events that they will be hosting. So that is an objective. And then the way to get to that is in the roadmap, we say, okay, so we're going to create this platform by one of the steps, design a bid package. This is a big step. Design a bid package for website developers to create an informational hub that includes a calendar and can be edited by artists themselves and would require little to no oversight from city staff. So that is still, that's really not a clear thing. That would have to be clarified even more. But that's just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. And then if you go to the budget, in order to make that happen, it requires more research. So you can see down right, Stu, could you highlight where it says objective on the left there, about halfway down where it starts to be almost bullet pointed, but not? Yeah. So objective is to build that robust and inclusive arts community. Steps are to design the website and or app for artists to enter their event information. The initial cost would be $5,000 to hire somebody to do it. That was based on research that I did real fast. Annual maintenance, an average for meeting the maintenance needs could be $3,000 at roughly $250 a month, depending on how much maintenance we needed from a person. And the sources where I got that information, there were two. It was real fast, and I put them up there so that people could look at it. So anything that we bring to the table, that would help. So it kind of gives us an idea of how big of a project it may or may not be, and what would be required. Because then you can decide if you want to start small or go big, right? And that kind of helps. What's after budget? Oh, we want to tell them what the benefit of it is. So here I say the benefit could be resident artists will be able to share their projects, events, activities, and accomplishments in a central location, making their art more accessible for the broader community while opening economic opportunity through nominal marketing fees. Right? So a lot of time artists just don't have a way to market themselves. It costs too much to upkeep a website. This could be a hub, right? And maybe the city says, all right, if you're a resident of LeGrand, you have access, right? That we just, they get to make those choices. And then I ran out of time. So there's challenges. You want to think about the challenges that we would have. What ways would people hit us and say, no, that can't happen? Put those in there so we can plan around them. And then I did put potential partnerships for the strategic plan, not because we want to necessarily have partnerships, but because we want to always be aware of people in the area that may or may not already be working on something similar. The city cannot promote a specific organization or person, and we don't want to encourage that, so I want to make that very clear that that's not what that is. So maybe partnerships isn't the correct word, but potential,
Collaborators?
Yeah, collaborators could be good. I'm not sure. Just anybody who might be able to offer guidance and assistance as we go
Or
along.
even double checking that we're not overlapping.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And I think that is mostly important because we want to make sure that when we use tax dollars, if we are granted tax dollars for something, that we're reaching as much of the populace as we can. So that's kind of my guide there.
Question. We were contributing a little bit of fundage to the concerts in the park during the summer. Are we still involved in that? And
We
should
want
it
to
be
be.
added?
You want to be.
Should we be? And
Add
can
it
we
to the
add
goals if you want to. I'm in favor of, it's art, right? So
Yeah,
add
I
it
mean,
to
one of the biggest things that showed up on the survey was art in parks, and I feel like that falls under art in parks.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that
So that could be, that could even be, we have art in parks as the goal. So an objective could be support the concerts. Thank you. Concerts in the parks.
yeah.
Supporting the haunted trail could be something, right? Because the actors are coming out for that. That's performative art.
and the holiday lights in the park?
Yeah, so all of those things, I mean,
Right, could
Yeah.
go
granted,
some.
all of those
Yeah.
are focused on Riverside
Fall under
specifically,
that.
and I feel like we would need to
Yes, agreed.
Sure.
So
spider out a little bit. But
yeah.
do we all want to take one of these and focus on one rather than or we could sit here and we could go through every single one of them and bust all of this out tonight.
Oh,
Like, that would take forever.
I think that would turn into like a 2.5 hour meeting,
Yeah.
and I'm not in favor of that. But
So, I mean.
I think establishing the goals is important before we walk away. And
Yeah.
then I think that's a great idea, Katie, that over the next week and a half, we just say, yes, I'm going to spend 2 hours between now and I don't know when. I leave to December 31st, so I would say 2 hours between now and December 31st to it. Right?
Well,
Like-
and I mean, even if people are doing it in this document, then we're not doubling up on things. And I feel like that's also really important, that we're not, everybody isn't all focusing on building outdoor performance venue, and then we get back and no one's done any work on anything else,
agree.
and then we're screwed.
I just want to remind you that I want to make sure that the themes of the questionnaire were captured,
Mhm.
which would be art and parks, art downtown,
Mhm.
performance art, they,
Yes.
like, and I think you got it, but I think that's your conversation tonight. Let's make
Yes.
sure that the broad categories are covered,
Mhm.
if you guys can remember what they were, what
No,
those common
yeah,
themes
yeah.
were. And
Which-
I can pull that up too, and
So
we can
that's-
double check that. but-
Well, I'm sorry, what is SRTS paths?
Safe
routes.
routes to school.
Oh,
I
thank
just
you.
added that. You're good.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So
Who's
that's
typing?
the main things that I wrote down from last meeting were mural artists, art in parks projects, not just,
Right.
and then art downtown possible projects. Those were the three things that last meeting we discussed were like really in our face. And then after that, I have outdoor/indoor performance spaces, and then maintaining art that already exists.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like you hit the nail on the head with almost all of that.
So you get,
Yeah.
you guys feel good that all those are
I
captured?
I feel great
I
with
think those are perfect.
all of this. I do think that the second and third one, building owners to contract with artists, and then also maintaining murals, I think those can be one goal in two different arms of one goal.
We had
Yes.
contact from the barber shop downtown at one point that wanted to put a mural on the side of their building.
And I think that we can,
Now,
follow
So-
that road
Mhm.
after we've established how we want to go about that.
Mhm.
But I think that between now and next
This-
meeting, establishing all of this should be
yeah,
our
and
goal.
by January, our next meeting in January, the addendum to the art policy, the city's art policy, will be ready to be reviewed by us, and
Okay.
Yes.
because outside of the historic district, it's different rules than inside
Yeah.
the historic district.
So the only reason that I broke them out, and I agree with you, so those two can be combined, encouraging the
Mhm.
building owners to build and maintain. I think any time that we say install, it should always have maintain as part of the
Mhm.
installation.
I agree
So
with that.
it should never be separate. But I did separate them out simply so we could see them,
Mhm.
right? Like let's be
No.
aware that and cognizant of the fact that maintenance matters.
Mhm.
Because I just keep looking at that art at the library and I'm like, how long do we have until we have to start saying, okay, it's time to update it because it's such an intricate piece, like those details in there are
Well, he's-
so fine on that one
oh.
side, right? So
Mr. Hoag told us at one point how long it would last before it would need, we'd have to look it up in the
I
records.
think it's all about coding it with the thing every other year,
Mhm.
because it will last a long time if you.
Yeah,
That's
it's supposed to
fantastic.
have very easy maintenance.
The other thing is also unforeseen circumstances, people destroying things like that.
Mhm.
That's
Of
going to
course.
happen. But if we pair installation with maintaining of all of this stuff, I mean that's also like the dedicated spaces for public art downtown. People were saying installations and just visual art downtown. Okay, this doesn't have to just be murals that we're pairing with maintenance. It can be all of those things. So
Sorry, one real quick. The other thing we need to add into this is just like in the very beginning, it should say we did a survey over this month to this
yeah, I'll
month.
put that
And
in
we
there.
got this many respondents. The main themes were these.
Yes.
Whatever. That should be the
Well,
preface,
and we
right?
can-
And then
yeah.
away you go.
So I will work on all of the introductory information for everybody. Are you folks comfortable, before we move on, do we have a consensus that the goals we currently have listed are the goals we want to focus on in the strategic plan?
And the strategic plan is for 1 year, 5 years?
We haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But if we want to have a strategic plan, are these the kinds of things we want to talk about? Is there anything missing that you really want to see?
I liked Taylor's edition.
Yes,
I like that a lot, because I feel like that goes hand in hand with like the activities people were asking for,
Mhm.
like stuff
Yes.
to do.
Yes.
So I think that's
Well,
that fits
and-
just fine.
The only thing I see missing is places for artists to install.
Oh, makers spaces.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it has to be maker spaces so much because that's Main Street is a goal for theirs, and we can maybe consider like talking about working with Main Street more closely as a goal for their art projects. But maybe I want to say it was just having gallery spaces downtown, or were you
I
part of?
don't remember.
I don't. Just places encouraging maybe businesses to hold art. I don't
To
know.
host local art, maybe.
I mean,
Okay.
I can
Let's-
send out the link to the results and
Yeah,
just,
let's-
get
yeah.
them so you can look as
Can
well.
you just put a bullet underneath that, either Taylor or Stu?
And why do you do yours? Is
I put my
easier.
camera
Oh,
away.
come on.
Sorry.
That's all right.
And just put like in parentheses
Up there, just
the like downtown art.
where is it?
Yeah, go ahead and just click right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just enter. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Okay, what do you go? I'm ready to type.
I would just say put in parentheses. Downtown art.
spaces.
Yeah, that's art making
Spaces.
spaces or art viewing spaces.
No, that's different than events though, so it shouldn't be part of the same thing.
Yeah, I think that was just a.
Is that what you're talking about or no?
So you
I
press
think
enter
it-
twice, but it's okay. Or I guess.
Under the tab.
Spaces.
I think it needs to be a dark bullet, not
Yeah,
It's its own.
Okay.
it's its own thing.
but
I got you. So we just need to right click, right? And then we'll go back to
Something else to consider for this goals is that I noticed in the last year, we didn't have any kind of representation at Hot Wild Days, Crazy Days,
There you go.
the downtown trick or treat,
Farmers market.
farmers market. You know, that may be a goal that we want to try and establish over the next 1 or 2 years. Is we have
just
Presence.
Promotion.
a presence. You
Yeah,
know,
visibility, presence in the community.
we could, farmers market. We could just hand out information.
My only thing with that is I just don't see other commissions spending so much time doing that. And it's not that I'm against it. It's just I don't. I think will you put it on there, Stu? Because I think it has value that our presence is known. But I think maybe what our real job is, right,
Yeah.
needs to be known. What is our purpose needs to be known.
firms weren't.
Yep.
I was thinking more along the lines of like the special events, like Crazy Days,
Mm-hmm.
the downtown trick or treat. I will happily sit there and throw candy at children.
I think
Oh,
One
so
of my
like-
favorite
like
things to do, sugar
parade
up
of
children and
lights, like
sing
that
back
kind of
to
thing.
theirs.
Exactly. The specialty events.
I would personally say that I feel like that should be a secondary thing
To like festivals and such.
to anything else on that list.
Yes.
because like, and I mean like, we should focus on everything first because whether or not the city knows we're here, we are here doing the
Exactly,
things. So I
exactly.
don't think it should be a priority to make them see us. I think it should be a priority to make them see the art that we are making happen.
It's a
So-
I agree with the combo of those two things because
Yeah.
it's not really appropriate for a commission just to be like, hey,
We exist.
We exist but what it is appropriate for is like, hey, we have a downtown mural mission and we need to promote that.
I think if we're gonna do something, it needs to be paired with
Yeah.
help us get this done.
Exactly.
So that might be-
Yeah, like we did
under-
at the
so that
not
one-
this year's fair, but
Will
last
you
year's fair.
highlight that one, Stu, and
Which-
copy
the one
the
I've got?
presence and put it under roadmaps? No, the presence.
I know.
Farmers market center and put it under roadmaps because that seems more like a step we would take
Yes.
to
Somewhere.
reach our goals.
Yes.
Cool.
I would also suggest expanding the safe route paths point into a more general, like supporting out of the box art projects.
Or would it go under
Because that's
roadmaps?
one that we wouldn't have thought of as a thing to do.
Oh,
It's kind
Yeah, I think
Because-
that's
Like,
a bigger
and that-
objective.
because that
and
was
can
something
be a-
that they had said
It would be a
was-
partnership.
Yeah.
So this would be, instead of this, it would be sort of supporting,
Well,
Support.
that is our mission,
Um,
right? So,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, really, it's the basics of the code.
no, that's good. Put it in there. I'm not saying don't put
Yeah.
it in there. I'm just saying
supporting
that-
out of the box art
or maybe
in
encouraging. anything
LeGrand.
is-
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
All right. So
Yeah.
it is. How do we feel about this for getting us started?
Okay, so
I
we
think
have
looks good.
well, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
We've got-
6, 7. You want to scroll up a little bit for me?
We've
Please,
actually.
thank you.
8, 9.
Well, we actually have 7 because 4 of those are 2. 4 of those combine into 2. So the murals and maintain is 1.
Okay, yeah,
And
you're right.
more spaces in public art. Well, and actually, art in parks could be part of the establish more dedicated spaces.
Well,
So
no,
Yeah.
because the concerts in the park is an ongoing thing, whereas public spaces is a different category.
yes,
Well-
but art in parks would be the art in the parks is part of the dedicated spaces.
Of establishing, yeah.
So that would be another like objective, a measurable objective. We will
Yeah.
support. We will dedicate so much time to this, or we'll dedicate.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and as before, we didn't really have a money source. Now that we've got a little bit more of a money source, we could be a little more supportive. We could get better acts into the park.
so
Help Parks and Recs.
So
Yes,
before
but-
we go, can we refine these goals into
Yes.
what they really are? So can you
Yes.
include the maintaining murals?
Let's move this first since I'm here.
Okay, great.
It'll be a lot easier to do this on my screen, sorry.
That's okay.
no, you're good.
Great.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm typing in right now.
Okay. Are you doing the,
I'm just doing
this
this.
is the magic of Google, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wee.
I've
Goodbye.
never convinced the city to get away
Boom.
from Microsoft.
There's
Um,
dedicated
As
spaces
council
for public art.
Demand that we switch to on Google. This is ridiculous. Outlook is,
What was it I was trying to send you, and it was like I had to try and figure it out. It's like, let me know if it comes true.
so the maintain currently installed art in public spaces can go away once that's added to the other one.
Yeah, the spaces for art displays or art viewing spaces.
Oh yeah. Katie, do you see that next bullet point there? Maintain currently installed art in public spaces.
yeah, what about it?
That can go underneath establish more dedicated spaces. So it's a sub.
Love it.
Sub one. And that being said,
I think that looks pretty darn good, even for the next 5 years.
I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals now is what we're seeing.
Yes.
That seems more accessible for the next, or more tackle. What do you say? We can tackle it better.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Attainable.
for the next
Unattainable.
for the
That's it.
next month. But like I said, my last day is the 31st, so I will take on
That
the
looks really
introduction.
good. I like that.
I can't tab over, unfortunately.
That's okay. We can. Stu could actually tab it over for you.
Yeah.
I'm like way lost by now, so yeah, it's fine.
When you go to maintain, can you just hit tab
On the
right in
maintain
front of
right?
maintain?
Let me see where my mouse is. Oh, there it is, right here.
Yep, tab.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we've got our 6 goals. So, may I request, Evie, because you have been looking at the mural stuff already, that you take on that goal and come up with some strategic objectives for
Okay.
that. And like I said, I'll be doing the intro. I'm gonna wait till everybody chooses something now.
I can do the one I put with the festival or events downtown.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the outdoor performance venue because I already know about that stuff.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I do.
And
I'm gonna
if
put.
Corey, if I have any questions with murals and stuff, can I?
Yeah, you can email.
Awesome.
Sure, I don't
Sure.
know what I'll be.
Cause, well, you know the one artist I know that because he was a student.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie, for putting your name in there. And then can we get
I'm gonna put.
Evie and
Murals. Corey can be my advisor.
and Taylor down on the festivals. Thank you. Corey, is there anything that you might have done for?
The spaces for art displays are.
Thank you. That'd be great. No, stop it. 2, 3, 4, 5. So then,
No E.
oh, my bad.
Start.
I could take.
You're going to be on the city council. You can't take anything.
No, I can take until. Okay, so I'll just work on the. So then there's 2 more for people to look over. So I will step out of the objectives and goals
Well,
then.
I think
I
that's
have 2 weeks left to help. 2.5.
I think you can refine them, but like to be responsible to getting them done, is that what you're talking about right now? Then you're out.
For the next. Right.
Like Corey's not gonna magically be able to like come up with all the public spaces like next month.
Right,
It's
no,
like
but
it's like
but we're trying to like get started on it was all I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, but I'll work on the intro then. I'll work on the intro
There you go.
and,
We love that.
Yeah.
and have that ready for you guys. And
We
There's
then,
do all the
bottom
legal
parts
spiel.
too, right?
yeah, and
Some
then
of this other stuff.
Yeah, and
Some
we
of this
can.
other
I
stuff.
mean, we can work on those to start. Those 4 to start.
I think that's quite a nice
and I
list.
think that's.
You know, because
anything-
if we do anything in conjunction with the safe routes,
Mm-hmm.
that'll give us 5.
so I just want to be very clear that the idea behind this is you're not just like thinking about the objectives that we'll meet it. You're going to also go to every single
yeah.
thing in there and think about the roadmap and the budget and the okay. It's hard to let this go because I feel like I started a big mess for you guys and I don't want to
No,
leave it to
what
you.
We got Katie that
You're
can take you.
So
No, here's the thing. You gave me a to-do list. I love a to-do list.
okay. So
And
I'll
love a
I'm
to-do
really
list.
good with
I'll
people
keep
who
refining
say, here's
them.
our to-do list. I need you to go do A, B, C.
I can
Okay.
delegate. We love delegation.
Yes.
all right. Good. Then let's move on.
Yes.
Anything else?
And I
No,
have no
that's
shame.
great.
I'll ask
Okay,
anybody
great.
anything.
I don't want to be a naysayer, but without Nick, I wasn't able to do much for a request for proposals. I did start a document stew. I can share that with you to share with everybody else. But I think that that's going to end up just tying back into
What
the
we've
strategic
got on our
plan anyway.
yeah.
So is
Okay.
it okay? I don't know if it's better to table it or if it's better to just strike it from our conversations for now. I don't know how that works.
Why don't we
Stu?
put it to next month in January?
Well, I just don't know if it's necessary until a strategic plan is done. I guess is what I'm
Because
saying.
I've been approached for a mural project that goes on the underpass. Somebody was talking to me about getting local artists to each take a square
Well,
on the underpass.
tell that person to hold on to that idea.
What I
and
told
to
them, I
come to
said,
us
let's put
as-
together what you want to do with these artists that you want to collaborate with and bring it to us. That's the last I heard.
Okay. That
So,
just
Yeah, the answer is you should have a plan done and then do the activities.
Mhm.
okay. So then do
So
we?
we'll strike it
I
for
think
now.
we just put this maybe as pending or actually it will get, it's already in the strategic plan.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm
So it's
saying.
gonna get covered, so
Right.
It's
I'd
gonna
say
get rolled into.
just-
So just
I
table
don't-
it.
pending
replaced with strategic plan.
Yeah.
Great. I
it's-
think
or
that's
C
perfect.
strategic plan.
It's just been replaced with. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. And that's so I can just let that go then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodness, I will focus on the strategic.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's good now.
She's
Staff
going to
reports.
focus on one thing.
That's adorable. We love you.
So I don't think I have anything. I can think of Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, thanks for all your service.
Thanks.
Oh, and then do we have? Let's see. Were you up for renewal? Did you get a thing? Did you
I
turn
had
your
sent it, I did my background check,
Cool.
and I assume that went through.
I don't
Yep.
think
I mean,
I'm
I-
done.
And I was
Explain
told
it
that
to
there
me,
is
so-
more than one person
The
on
merger
the
was
outskirts, so
didn't
that I'm not eligible.
Okay.
Well, you don't know. Just because they're on the outskirts doesn't mean they join.
No,
No,
there were
there's-
two of you. There was you and one other person who was outside of the LeGrand area.
Right. Okay.
Who else is outside the area?
That's what they
That's what they
Said.
said.
Oh,
One, I know there's one applicant to replace you, and then I don't know if there's any more. So
Oh, I
that's
heard
where I'm
there's-
at for now. There might be several. I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, see, I was
either.
told there's somebody else who's outside of the LeGrand area, so I did not qualify. That's basically it.
Our,
Yeah, because
is
we can
our,
only have one.
our next meeting is taking place after the council meeting where they would name
people.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
like right up the week after.
it's
Yeah.
always the week after.
So then
Love it.
usually I send the blast email like, hey, come to the meeting, you're now on this
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So it's January.
Yeah.
So,
Fresh
time
meat.
cards, does anybody have time to submit to Stu that they spent outside of this? Stu, I
Does
forgot to write it
anybody need a time
down.
card?
Not unless
I
you're
can write it
counting
down.
the hour that I spent.
Besides the meeting
You
time,
wanna count
maybe
it,
an
you should
hour.
count it,
hour or
okay,
two.
it matters.
So I just need you guys to fill out the.
Yeah,
the
I don't have it
things,
on
'cause
me.
Yeah, I need the documentation. So I'll send that out again.
Oh, okay, can we just sign it and send it back? Or it doesn't have to be handed in physical?
Yeah, just scan it.
Okay, all right.
You could just send me your email. I can fill it out for you, but I need documentation of these
Yeah,
hours,
will do.
like with dates and times. Like, I did 3 or 4 hours this month. Like, no, on the 10th I worked for an hour doing this, and on the 20th I did 2 hours doing this. That's what
This one did not have much time because we only had about 2 weeks in between
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but
Is there a form?
yeah, I'll send it. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yes,
Because
Okay.
I will just copy paste
Yes.
and fix it every month. Then,
100%. Perfect.
Next meeting's January what?
Commissioner,
15th.
commissioner comments? Anything from the commissioners? It's been fun.
I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. I will keep supporting the arts as a council member.
Woo woo.
That's my comment.
All right, stop